Hi drummers, welcome to the second in a series of drum interviews at Dunx Drum School. Today I have Mr. Mike Malyan here with me, drummer of Monuments, Rhythm, all the bands above.
Yeah, bits and bobs all around.
Bits and bobs. So we'll just get straight into it. Tell us about how you became a drummer.
I was a pianist when I was younger. I started on piano when I was about 6. I got to about 11 and decided 3 hours of piano practice a day and everything. Kind of hit adolescence and just went, screw this, I'm done. I got a Slipknot CD and I started playing drums and stopped playing piano and started rebelling with no reason. But then eventually actually took it seriously.
Yeah.
It took a few years though.
Awesome. So you're 21 now, aren't you? So that's 10 years.
Yeah, 10 or 11 years, but the first few years never count. I was just pissing people off. Yeah, you're just like sound like you're falling down the stairs.
Yeah.
You're having fun.
No, that's good. That's good stuff, man. So, alright, so obviously you got the grasp of drums, you really decided to like it. So for the first few years you were quite self-taught then. So how many years was that?
That was about, it must have been about 5 years. I think I started taking lessons, proper drum lessons at about 16, 17. Until then, it really got serious for me when I found the band. I think it was when I started getting into like Lamb of God and I started like learning all the Chris Adler's fills because I loved them so much. And I was just like, that there's great steps towards like metal feeling and stuff like that. Footwork and everything.
Definitely. Okay, so along that way then. So tell us about who and where you studied with.
I did a bit of studying when I was about 11ish at Trinity College of Music Juniors. I can't remember the teacher's name, and it was only like 2 months I had, so it didn't really count. But then I had Colin Woolway, who's the founder of the Drum Sense program.
Oh wow!
And he taught at Brit School, and through Brit we got the free lessons. And I started. I didn't have a drum teacher when I started. I had some different instruments, and then went to drums. Colin helped me out, and then another teacher called Andy Woodard. And between them, they helped me with all my reading, my technique, a lot of technique work, and also stopping just playing metal, also doing some Latin, some funk, some bits and bobs, double strokes, motor technique. I couldn't keep up without the stuff they taught me. So. But then I think as I got to the end of Brit, I started getting more opportunities through the songs that I was learning and the bands that were looking for drummers, and so I just kind of took the education to the next step of finding something that's I can't play yet, but I want to play. So that'll be my
applying
next
existing knowledge and all that sort of stuff. And wicked, man.
Yeah.
I mean, did you find when you started? Well, you kind of just answered there actually. When you started, your influences like Lamb of God and stuff like that. But what do you find your influences now? Have they changed much since you've progressed?
Yeah, they've flowed massively. Like at the start, it was Joey Jordison, Chris Adler, and everything. Metal. And then it got towards more like Thomas Hawke, and then I had a massive influence from Travis Orbin and Matt Halpern and everything. Just from a detached, I was really getting into the music of Periphery and all this new scene. But then recently, that has kind of led me through to the jazz fusion world, and I'm really into players like Mark Giuliano, Chris Coleman, gospel drummers, kind of like Tony Royster, but more along the like a fresher age, Thomas Pridgeon as well. Just so many sick players, and with the choppers and everything, they really improv inside the groove, and they can just musically go with it. Benny Greb as well, huge one.
Definitely. So, all right, so you kind of just answered my next question as well. Who are your current drumming heroes? The ones you just listed?
Yeah, Grebster, Benny Greb, Matt Halpern, and then he doesn't know it, but Mark Giuliano, easily check out any of his work. Staffy Youssef, Avishai Cohen, all this stuff that's it has the crazy time signatures of metal, but in jazz forms and everything, and more like an Eastern cyclical time. It's more like of a feel thing than it is a counting thing, and it feels great to listen to, and it's impossible to play along to because it's just done so freshly. It's like all these guys just having fun together in a room musically. I think
amazing. Okay, so far with your drumming heroes in place, and you're getting better by the minute, all the time improving and always smashing it. I was going to say, what would be your biggest drumming achievement so far?
So far, I think getting endorsed was a big one, and being able to use my profile and having the online stuff. I think filling in for Periphery, which started out as just a favourite band, and then to get to go on the road, meet the guys, and just jam with them on stage. Playing in India at the beginning of this month was a big one, to 10,000 people.
Wow, yeah, I saw that.
That one was Yeah, so but I think there's more to come. I don't know what. I'm just kind of got my arms open and just letting letting the opportunities flow in.
Awesome. So obviously you filled in Periphery, but can you tell us a little bit more about the bands you're playing for right now and other projects you're involved with as well?
Right now, well, my main band's still Monuments. We've been in redevelopment a few times. We're finding the right foundation, as it were. In the off time since the last tour we did with that, I've been spending a lot of time with the Algorithm. We're doing Download Festival. I'm not sure by the time when this is released we will have done it, but right now it's next week. And then we're also up for a Golden Gods. We're nominated for a Metal Hammer Golden God for Best UK Underground Act, which is incredibly humbling. We don't even need to win it. It's just really nice to see, like, just to see that it's been acknowledged. And then there'll be loads of touring all around the place, loads of meeting up with great musicians again. Looking forward to everything with that. Another acoustic project with a guy called Mike Dawes, a Candy Rat Records artist who's he's amassed millions of hits on some of his videos, and we met at a Periphery gig, and he's really up for some collaborations. So there's interesting stuff there. There'll be loads of projects. I won't be able to tell until a couple of musicians get into a room and there'll be a new one. It happens all the time.
Okay, so throughout, obviously being a part of these bands in particular, there would have to be certain attributes you're playing that fit that.
For sure.
Fit that outfit. So, I mean, what would you say your strong parts as a player are?
I think having spent so long analysing and transcribing complex parts, I think mainly it's now feeling natural and feeling really comfortable with odd timings, and not feeling free to play inside odd weird things, and just kind of memorize it, pick up stuff quickly, and read this kind of metal stuff off write it on sheet and just read it. I think that's the main thing that's been able to contribute to opening up to the free jazz side inside. I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, because I remember when we were jamming earlier, you were just saying about you don't really think about when you're playing, you're not thinking about it, you're just feeling it, and it's kind of the stuff you've studied in the past is serving you well now because it's kind of ingrained into your subconscious. So,
that's why trying to learn, especially all the time spent learning the algorithm, there was so much counting involved just in that point that when it came to actually playing it, there's no time to count. You've just got to rely on the subconscious feeling the groove, and playing live to a click all the time really has helped with that. So I can kind of feel free to rotate around whatever's going on, and but still working on it, still improving, still trying to find the right ways of doing it, be more tasteful, stuff like that.
Awesome. So, I mean, one of the main reasons why I'm doing this drum series is to kind of show my pupils that, it's not impossible to make a living out of being a drummer, to get into music, because a lot of them obviously see it as more of a hobby sort of thing, and I think partly because they're intimidated by the thought of, putting all their eggs in one basket and just going for it. So I kind of just wanted to, prove to them. So I wanted to say, through all your drumming experience and stuff like that, have you managed to carve a sort of career out for yourself as a drummer? Yeah, I think through the profiling and everything, I think it's still early days. I'm still young, and I'm still experimenting with it. But I've dedicated all my time to it, and it's proving fruitful in its own ways. I think it is a difficult journey, and it is something that it is hard to call a living, But it's more a thing of that. I couldn't see myself now doing anything else really. I'd rather spend all my time doing this because I love it so much. Then if I have a bad month for money or whatever, at least I'm out playing. At least and everything's covered out there. So and I think one day I'll probably be a lot more comfortable with it. But I couldn't be happier with my life just going out and playing for these bands, and just always musically involved, whether it's recording, more strings to your bow, not all eggs in one basket. That's probably a bad idea. Yeah. But just within that basket, there's lots of other little baskets. Yeah, being happy to discover every basket possible, and carve more strings to your bow. Definitely. So I mean, this brings me on to the next question actually, because what is your? I mean, obviously you're doing gigs with various bands and stuff, but to sort of I mean, that's making you some money, but there's other ways of making money as well. You said you do some studio work as well. So tell us about your sort of weekly setup. Weekly setup. Well, I think one of the great parts about the weekly setup. One thing I did on the previous week was for drummers, YouTube is an amazing profiling thing to have. The thing is, a lot of drummers, they don't have the space to play and to record and to feel free to just kind of do their thing. So one thing I've been offering is
studio sessions with cameras, and so drummers can come along, and I'll record and video it, edit it, and then they'll have their promotional material, so that then they can potentially people can find them, and then they can actually further their stuff. So a drum video recording will be like one of the things I'll do fairly regularly. Although other times there'll be bands, someone will be looking for an EP or whatever, because I've had experience, going through the album process with Monuments and everything. I've picked up a lot of tricks along the way. And then there'll be some lessons, some teaching involved here and there, either on Band Happy or in person with some local students. And then the rest of the time is, I think, like practicing and
1 second.
I'm playing through the computer.
Sorry guys. So with all the sort of supplemental income and stuff going on, which is wicked, thing I'd highly recommend anyway, just to keep multiple streams of things going on. I'd say where are you hoping to go from here?
From here, I want to further the profile really. I want to expand my reach. I want to experiment with more projects. I want to feel freer in other genres. I want to develop my Latin playing a lot more. I want to find ways of taking this style that I've got in this niche and opening it up to everything, whether it be jazz, funk, and I want to get into a lot more sessions, like going in and recording for other people's bands and stuff like that. Yeah. I'm also spending a lot of time like properly crafting my skills again as a pianist and as a bass player and a guitarist, because that is fundamentally the only way I find I can really musically make parts to complement. Because then if I can work out what a guitar riff is either on a guitar, or if my guitar skills aren't there, piano's an easier one to just get it. Then I can feel wherever the fundamental focus points, accents, higher notes, different chord progressions and everything. Then how you can actually you can orchestrate the kit in that way. You can be a lot more musical.
Definitely.
So I think when developing the other instruments and every other genre, that's my big long-term goal. And then I can do whatever I like.
Awesome. That sounds wicked, man. Well, the final thing I wanted to do, before we go off and have our little drum jam, which you're going to see in a minute, if you click onto the next video, I'd like to get Mike to show us around his minor cymbals, because this is his endorsee. If I just grab the camera, and we'll have a little look around. So, do you want to start left and go right?
Yeah, start left and go right.
Just get this going.
I've been spending a while trying to work out exactly what cymbal range I wanted. Generally, the whole idea behind the playing is big and dark, and then or kind of big and bright with a bit of darkness, but mostly light and dark here. Light, dark. Byzance is a great, really earthy vibe cymbal. It's got all the brightness that you need to cut through the mix. But these hats have been great. Taught them. They haven't even faltered slightly. They record great. It matches perfectly with the Crash, the 19. It's a medium thin, which is just something basically to let the accents. I'm riding on my right most of the time, so these will be kind of where I'm at. This one I discovered last night about 3 in the morning. If I pull it apart, it's a 12-inch Generation X filter china, but underneath it's got a wonderful little splash at Minor Classics, which is I'm not right about now. And just underneath sits quite perfectly in there. And it gives us great, really washy feel, really great sustain attack. Both there. The ride is beautiful to get into, to explore. The Extra Dry series is awesome. I did have an Extra Dry China to match it, but it's too thin, it broke on tour. And then
how many days did it last?
4 days. 4 gigs. And not even days of playing, just in a half an hour set.
Wow.
So the drummer for Born of Osiris said, here's a cymbal that I dare you to break, and I couldn't do it. I actually couldn't do it. So I got that one straight after I got back. I just went, I'll pick up one of these then. And that's done me so well. Wow. So far. For an 18-inch, it just never let you down.
Yeah.
So we're going to be experimenting a bit more with some other stacks, maybe, try and open it up a little bit. It's quite a, one setup for all sort of things, but some different characteristics would be cool at some point.
Wicked, man. Well, hopefully we'll catch up again soon.
Awesome.
But we'll go on to the drum jam now.
Nice, let's do it.
See you in a bit.